A controversy exists regarding the comparative economies of incandescent lights, known to lighting engineers as eye lights, and compact fluorescent lights, commonly known to us as CFLs, and lately LEDs. Here is an eye light, here is a CFL, and here is an LED. Eye lights emit only about 9% of their wattage as light and the rest as heat, while CFLs emit about 34% light and 66% heat. A 60-watt eye light also burns for about 1,000 hours, while a 14-watt CFL, about as bright as a 60-watt bulb, burns for about 10,000 hours. So, a continuously burning CFL will last about as long as 10 eye lights, burning one after the other. Thus, if a 60-watt eye light costs 80 cents each, while a 14-watt CFL costs $4.99 each, that's local hardware store prices, and the public utility charges 12 cents per kilowatt hour, a little algebra says the life cycle cost of this lumen lemon is about $80, while that of this CFL is only about $22. No contest, wouldn't you say? But wait, that 91% of an eye light's wattage that is lost as heat, where does it go? If it is cold outside, that heat will not be lost because it will reduce by an equal amount the heat needed to warm the room the light is in. Therefore, if the temperature outdoors is less than 65 degrees, as it is in the evening during most of the year in most places in the United States, when people at home turn on the lights, the heat emitted by our lights is useful heat. But this varies greatly. In northern Montana, evening temperatures rarely remain above 65 degrees all year round, while in southern Florida, they rarely fall below 65 degrees all year round. Considering this factor alone, you could say that eye lights are economical in Montana and uneconomical in Florida. Also, when a fluorescent light is turned on, its electrodes erode slightly, and the bulb consumes an amount of energy equal to about 15 minutes burn time. So, if a CFL is turned on and off frequently, it will last much less than 10,000 hours. And if it burns for only short periods, as when you go to the bathroom at night, it will consume more energy per hour that it is on than an eye light. Eye lights don't have this problem. CFLs have other problems. When some CFLs are turned on, they emit an ashy glow for a few minutes that is unpleasant to read by. CFLs aren't fully dimmable, and dimming shortens bulb life. 3. CFLs grow weaker as they age. After 10,000 hours, they may be only 60% as bright as when they were new. Eye lights remain nearly as bright as new until they burn out. CFLs often break before they burn out. And what good is a bulb that could last 10 years if some kid breaks it in two? 5. When a CFL breaks, it creates a dangerous disposal problem. This doesn't happen with eye lights. 6. CFLs don't work as well as eye lights in cold weather. These debits of CFLs were succinctly summarized by a local contractor who recently told a friend of mine, "Everyone in America knows incandescents are better than CFLs except consumers." These shadowy details were also brought to light in a front page article in the May 29th, 2009 New York Times An article titled, "The Bulb That Saved the Planet May Be Less Than Built." In summary, CFLs are usually a better choice when installed in hard-to-reach areas, in warm regions where electrical rates are high and where they can stay on for long periods. But incandescents are better where it is cold much of the year, where they could easily be broken, and where the lights are on briefly. These latter pluses are why many people legitimately prefer the old lumen lemon, and why it is a crime for governments to pass laws outlawing them. Beyond this, one cannot state one blanket conclusion for every use of these bulbs everywhere. You may have noted that all the above examples are for residences. What about businesses? Here, many of the criteria favorable to incandescents are reversed. Businesses usually operate during the day when temperatures are higher than the daily averages. Their lights are often turned on and off once a day and remain on for hours, and they are typically installed in ceilings where they aren't easily broken. These pluses make fluorescent bulbs more economical than eye lights in most commercial occupancies, and it is why they are common there. To many, an obvious demerit of CFLs is that they contain mercury. But even this may be the opposite, what most of the public may believe, because the EPA recently stated that where electricity is generated by coal-fired utilities, since coal contains mercury and eye lights burn much less efficiently than CFLs, eye lights actually cause more mercury to be released into the environment per kilowatt consumed than CFLs. Plus, the mercury released by eye lights ends up in the atmosphere instead of landfills. This is the kind of dilemma that plagues serious environmentalists day and night. Just when you think you've got an issue figured out, you learn something new that puts you back at square one. Now, let's compare CFLs with LEDs. LEDs are smaller. They light up instantly to full brightness. They consume less power per watt. They generate less heat. They can turn on and off frequently without shortening their lives. They are fully dimmable and they have no ballasts. But LEDs cost considerably more. Their lifespan is halved with every 10 degrees centigrade increase above room temperature. They work best in cool temperatures. And they may not fit into a fixture you buy them for. I learned this last fact the hard way. I recently bought one for my drafting lamp, but I couldn't screw in the bulb because its wide base wouldn't fit into the lamp's conical reflector. I tried screwing the bulb into my bedside lamp, but the bulb was so low that when I put the shade on top of the lamp, the lamp's base hit the base of the lamp. So if you consider buying an LED light first, if you can, test one in the fixture you will use it in, so that you can make the wisest decisions with these three light bulbs. Figure 611 on page 243 in my book, Architecture Laid Bare, has a chart which compares these three lamps' properties. Some of you will find that one bulb would be best for a certain situation, while others of you will find another. And each of you should be able to buy all three.